Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Joe Daddy's Garage. It is Monday, September 4th, 2023. And we just got back from a brief vacation. So I know I normally start my live streams at 7 o'clock and couldn't make it. Couldn't make it. One of the problems we have is we, we go to Alabama, and when we're there, we get on Alabama time, which is an hour behind Georgia time. And so it never fails. We start getting packed up and ready to go, thinking we've got time and we're doing okay. And then we realize, oh, wait a minute, Georgia is an hour ahead. So we lose that hour. Zoom, we got to get on the road and get moving. And then, of course, we end up fighting with traffic and people driving way too slow. So we just got here. Literally 7:20 was our arrival, and I'm gonna do the live stream because I said I would. So I'm glad everybody is here. I say I have 15 viewers. If you would, if you're watching, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and leave a comment. Let me know you're here. Get my camera set up right. Last week I had a problem with the electrical on this side of the room or the garage, and we got that figured out. But I didn't have my cam, uh, independent camera, set up last week. It wasn't working, so I had to go through some stuff, got it working again. So now I have that camera instead of my laptop camera, and I assume the microphone is working okay, the one I normally use. It gave me an indication that it was working. So um, hope you all had a good weekend. Labor Day weekend is usually the end of summer. That's how most of us look at it, I think, and the beginning of fall. And I know a lot of us are looking forward to fall coming and the weather conditions getting much better. The I know that the out in Texas and where Robert's at and all that sort of thing, they've been enduring some pretty high temperatures, obviously. And I know Robert was surprised he had some rain come down this past week. So his dry, crusty yard got a little bit of moisture, and I'm sure it didn't help anything. But yeah, it's fall is coming. So if you're new to the live stream, I hope you stick with us and watch, and I hope you watch my regular videos as well as I move forward. Um, there's usually the format is focused on classic cars, typically stuff from the 50s up into the 70s. Sometimes we go off on different tangents on that sort of thing. But if you have a question, I encourage you to ask. If I can help you with that question, I will. If I can't, I usually have a great group of people over here in the chat box that can answer that question. So we've covered a lot of ground over the last couple years in helping people solve problems or giving or sharing ideas and stuff like that. So if you do participate, you get a bell. Yep, just how it works. Little reward system for everybody. I see I've got 24, so that's great. And we're going to see who is first in. I know we're running late. We're not on our normal schedule, so we'll see who's in first, and that would be Dave Tyson. Good evening, all. Evening, Dave. Glad you're here. That's our first Dave sighting as well. Rick Stevenson. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Rick. And Robert, of course, checking in. The Infernal Craftsman. Evening, all. Evening, Robert. Todd DeBachler. Hello. Hello, Todd. Glad you're here. Rusty's Restoration. Hello, Barry, and all from Southern Indiana. Thumbs up, everyone. Yes. Yeah, we're gonna talk about some things going on with my channel as well. I've got some insight, I think, as to some of the problems I've been having with my channel. So hopefully I can remedy that. But I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Terry Keithley, a little bit late, but I'm here. Please hit the like and thumbs up. Well, you're not late at all because I was late. I didn't start till 7:30, so I'll call that on time. Glad you're here, Terry. Chris Greenaway, how is everyone doing? Pretty good. Hope all is well with you, Chris. I know in the States we're celebrating Labor Day or Labor Day weekend. I'm sure it's probably different if you, well, I could say you probably don't celebrate Labor Day up in Canada like we do. Lost 2-1. Hi, all. Hello, Lost. Glad you're here. Steve Reed. Hello, Joe Daddy and everyone. Hello, Steve. Glad you're here. Taylor Moore. Hey, man. Glad you had a safe trip. Thank you, Taylor. I don't know if I've seen your name before, so welcome if I haven't. Glad you're here. Chris says he had a good car show this weekend. Awesome. That's always a plus. Nandu. Good evening, everyone. Glad you're here, Nandu. Robert says, if we are lucky, this will be the last of 107-degree temps. Fall is 2 months off, though. Well, it is, but I can already look at least look at our weather predictions, and it's showing better temperatures this coming week. So hopefully that's a good thing. Terry Keithley, got my ARC Captain 200 last week. Love it. Awesome. Hope you used my discount to get that. I know somebody did. I know they had a special sale and different things, and if that's a better price, by all means, take advantage of that. But I know I got notice that somebody had bought a ARC Captain through one of my links, so hopefully it was you, Terry. Mike Seff, leave a comment, and subscribe if you have not subscribed already. Yes. Thank you, Mike. You post that a lot, and I appreciate that. I really do. Jerry is checking in. Howdy, Barry. Howdy, y'all. The rain was so welcome yesterday. Have a great stream. Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate that. Chris, it's Labor Day weekend here as us Canucks need a day away from laboring too. Okay. Well, it's not always the same everywhere, obviously. And he says leaves are changing color here. Good. Let's see. Let me look here a second. Okay, so Chris has sent me some pictures, and I'm going to get those. And also, Russ has sent me a picture. So I'm gonna pull those up in just a minute and get a look at those pictures. Let me tell you, this past weekend we did go. We have friends that live over in Alabama, and if you see the thumbnail in the on YouTube, you'll see there is a Mazda MX-3 Speed or Mazda 3 Speed Turbo. I think maybe that's what we're looking at. That's my buddy's Mazda. And this past weekend, we went to an autocross event. I guess it's Grip Autocross, I think is the name of the organization. And my buddy drives in those. That's why he bought this Mazda. And it's a lot of fun. I had never been to one before. So all of our friends got together and went over there and checked it out. The difficulty is it wasn't close to where we normally stay for our trip or our get-togethers. It was an hour and a half away, so we had to drive an hour and a half to get there. And then they had about 40 cars compete in the event, all kinds of stuff. And I made some video. I have video of a variety of cars running at the event. I did a walk around. I rode in my buddy's Mazda 3. I rode in a Rambler. I'm going to have to post a picture of this because this thing, I don't know. It's a Rambler by name only. Let's put it that way. It's a custom purpose-built autocross vehicle. And I don't have the specs on it, but I was talking to the owner of the car. He said he built it for his wife and that they go all over the place and race this thing. And he told me that it had been featured by Jay Leno and several other people have seen and been around this car. So I'm going to post. Let me get a picture of that as well. Um, I was really impressed by this vehicle. Now it says Rambler on it, but the only thing that's Rambler is the body. I can't tell you the specifics of what is in it. I didn't have time to interview the guy or get a good look at the uh, the car itself, and I just got to go for a ride in it, and I also filmed it racing around the track. So let me just show you this car real quick before we go into the other pictures. So check this out. That thing, like I said, it's just a Rambler body. They did such a good job, though. The flares did give away that I think it's probably on more like a Corvette chassis, but this thing was a beast. I rode in it. I had a little trouble getting into the car because the guy who built it, he said he built it for his wife, and he and his wife are smaller people than I am. So I had to scrunch down inside of it, and the roll bar was right at the back of my head, and I had to like push my body down into the racing seat and just hang on while he's going through the course. And I posted some pictures of stuff on Facebook and even some video clips of some of that stuff. But man, it was it was a lot of fun, and I don't know of any autocross events that are near me, but if I find one, I may have to do something about it. That was a blast. I used to race dirt track cars, and it's fun until somebody tries to kill you. Then it's not so much fun. So these events, you're racing against the clock or yourself. That's it, and that is a challenge in itself. So Chris has sent me some pictures of his car at the car show, and I can see there's a variety of different vehicles in the background. And this is the other shot there. So, car looks great. Really nice. Really nice car, Chris. And then Russ has sent me, let's see, he says he got my paint for my 65 project. So this is the color for his 65 project. Now, I don't know, I'm not going to say Gulfstream Aqua, but I'm not going to say Acapulco Blue either. That feels like it's somewhere in between those two. So Russ has to fill us in on what that is. Let's go back up here just a minute. Okay, so Rusty said he sent a pic of my new paint for my 65 project. It's got a turquoise color. I sprayed a piece of scrap to look at the color. Yes, and it's definitely turquoise. I like it. I do like that color. Looks great. Dawn's Manufactory. Hello from Wet and Cool PDX. Fall has arrived in Oregon. Observed the first flock of geese flying south yesterday. That's interesting. So you have geese flying south, and we have geese flying north, I think. Because I don't think they fly to here. I think they fly away from here when winter comes. I don't know. But we do have geese as well that fly. Chris was wondering what would be a good exhaust for a stock Chem Poncho 400. I don't even have a clue. I mean, by default, you're going to go with the welded type mufflers. Whether they're Flowmasters or something like that. But I don't know that you gain much if it's stock. You're going to gain some sound. That's about it. But yeah, that's about all I can recommend. And Robert says that is cool. Yes, I'm going to show that car again because just let me tell you that thing, that was a blast to go for a ride in. Um, and there was Corvettes there were Porsches there. I think the winner of the event was actually a Mazda 3. And those little Mazda 3s, good gosh, I think there was probably 6 or 8 of them there, and every one of them was fast, just unbelievably fast. So, Richard says, "Roar, evening all. Glad you're here, Richard." And he's telling Chris, 2.5 to 3 inch duals. I usually go 2.5, 3. Once you get so big, it really doesn't help much. It looks kind of cool, but anything over 2.5 really doesn't gain much, and just from what I understand. Robert says, "Good looking bird. What's that green stuff on the pavement under it?" Are we talking about? Are you talking about the Mazda? Yeah, I don't have that picture pulled up. That was nothing from the Mazda. I know that. Nothing from the Mazda. Chris, it's grass. What are we looking at there? It's grass. You don't see parked cars on the grass down in the south because you have none. Oh, okay. So he was talking. Sorry, I was confused as to which picture he was talking about. He was talking about this picture. Yeah. Yep, that's grass, Robert. Sorry. I didn't know which picture you were referring to. So I know there in the Mazda picture that I have for the thumbnail, there is some, looks like liquid underneath it, but it's not from the Mazda. So I was confused. Robert says, "Nah, it catches on fire here if you drive over it." Yeah. Yeah. Nick Moss says, "Hello. Hello, Nick. Glad you're here. Hope all is well with you." I don't know what the progress report is on your project, or if you have one. But, currently in this my space, I've worked on getting as much as I could done last week on the Mach 1 project. So the rocker panel is in place on the other side. The front section is in. And I talked about how I'm going to work on the B-pillar. And I've been thinking about that a little bit. I think I have an approach that's going to work to help me resolve the rust issues. So the plan for this week is I want to get the whole other side on in place. I want to test fit the roof panel, make sure that's going to line up and fit correctly. And then from there, I'm going to see what trips my trigger. Let's put it that way. I know I have to put in the frame connectors, so I know I have to do that. I know I have to put in the firewall, the cowl, and the front frame rails. There's a lot of stuff that can be put on and is pretty much ready to put on. I did all that pre-fitting stuff with the frame rails, shock towers, all that, mocked everything up. Of course, I will have to mess with the firewall some more because I'm going to be sectioning some of that out. But, yeah, I think the next few videos are going to really cover some ground as far as getting the body put together. So I don't know. I know the last video I did has a lot of views on it, and I appreciate everybody watching it and thumbs up. All that stuff. It helps with the videos. But I wanted to mention a few things. My channel has been on a decline, which is really weird to me. It's been really weird to me. You could look at my trends, and you can see month to month what kind of viewers you have, how many hours of watch time you have, how much revenue you have, all these different things. Shows you all your new viewers, shows you new subscribers, all kinds of different things. Well, I did something that was probably dumb. And YouTube didn't like it. I'll just be blunt. YouTube didn't like it. I think what they did is they shadow banned me. So if you've heard of shadow banning, basically what they do is they pretend you don't exist anymore. Like YouTube, they don't promote me. They don't encourage other people to see me. They don't push me out into the public. And I believe that's what's happened. I believe they shadow banned me. And so, I mean, I have all the pictures of my trends, everything going down and down and down and down. Well, whenever you're trying to do stuff like I do, and you're trying to develop a broader base, or you're trying to develop an income source, or you're trying to just expand and make things bigger, right? Sometimes you get an opportunity, and maybe the opportunity wasn't the best idea. Just put it that way. There's other competing. There's companies that compete with YouTube. So there's like Vimeo, Rumble is one of them. There's I can't think of all the different names. Well, I had gotten an email from Rumble, and Rumble said, "Hey, you can put your videos on our channel and earn money." Cool. So I thought, let me try that and see what happens. Well, what ends up happening is, and I discovered this later on, that whenever you sync your YouTube videos to Rumble, well, like a dummy, I don't think about the idea that YouTube is going to know this, but they know this. They know that you do that. So whenever I did that sync, soon after, everything started going downhill. And from what I understand, people that have done this, they get shadow banned by YouTube, and that just means they don't promote you. They don't push any of your videos up. They just kind of let it tank. And I figured some of that out because what was it? Oh, whenever I get comments from YouTube, they'll give me some data, and they'll say, great job on this video. More of your regular viewers are watching this video. Well, what that tells me is no new people are watching this video. I started seeing those inputs, and I thought, why are new people not finding this video? And so anyway, I deleted my Rumble account, just wiped it out, got rid of it. And hopefully that's going to help affect, I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's going to help affect, or maybe get me back on track with YouTube. I don't know yet. Either way, I'm not going to get too stressed over it. I'm going to keep making videos and keep putting them out there like I've been doing. But I think they may have gotten upset with me because I was going to their competition a little bit. So I'm going to change all that, and we'll see what happens. Simone says, hi, everyone. Hello, Simone. Whoop. There we go. Defective bell. Chris Greenaway, a good party trick, have that dry grass and the flamethrower duels. So at night, to do it at night, people might call you Ghost Rider, Infernal Craftsman. Yeah. Simone says, hot and humid here in the UK. Yes. Richard Vogel. Good evening, Barry. I really enjoyed your last video. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate that. In that last video, I was a little concerned because as I'm doing things, I've been kind of doing time lapse, just because it's a little easier for me to do a time lapse segment. And I know I've had some people in the past have complained about having music on there. Some people complain when I don't have any music on there, and I get it. If you got a minute and a half or 2 minutes of silence, no sounds at all, nobody likes that. Nobody I know of likes it. I don't like that. So that's why I try to throw music in there, or I've been starting to voice over some of it and try to give an explanation as to what I'm doing and why. We'll see how that goes moving forward. I just know that it works pretty well at this point. Nick, Mach 1 stuff is looking great. Mine is a broken record. Was supposed to be done, but the gentleman working on it is sick again. Not his fault, obviously. It is what it is. Sorry to hear that, Nick. Hopefully it comes together. Chris, Barry, I'm not going to mess with the car. It's a 22 miles per gallon cruiser. Just want a little more sound as the mufflers and stock manifolds have leaks. Yeah, like on Jade, I put welded thrush mufflers, which are very similar to the high dollar mufflers that you can get. I'm very happy with how they sound. So, Richard, over 80 here in extreme northern New York. Well, that's kind of warm for extreme northern New York. Nick, only thing left paint-wise is the hood and tail panel black. Everything is wet sanded and buffed color-wise. Okay. Well, that's a good thing. I mean, it's unfortunate you're going to have to wait on that other stuff to get done, but it's good that everything else is taken care of. Simone says it was 28 degrees Celsius here today, hot enough for me. 28 times 1.8 plus 32. I know. Too much math. Derek says, hi, everyone. Hope you're well. Mustang is looking fantastic. Great work. Thank you, Derek. And Derek is from down under. Checking in from Australia. Awesome. Nandu says, Rumble doesn't have anything like you do in their platform. Well, yeah. And I'll tell you what, I wasn't getting any views either. I wasn't getting any views. It wasn't helping anything at all. So, and I don't know if they want anything like that. I really don't know. I just probably wasn't worth the effort. David and Cheryl checking in. Hello, everyone. Both of us are here today. Awesome. Give you 2 bells. Give you 2 bells. Glad you're here. Derek says, in our world today, everything we do is monitored. Sad situation. Bring back the old days before all this tech. Too much. Yes, I agree. 68 Orange Crate. Yes, I love the content providers on YouTube, but I can't stand YouTube. Yeah, I know the feeling. I definitely know the feeling. I'm with you on that. David Sherrill, late to the party. Well, you're not too late because I started late today. I started at 7:30. I didn't give everybody much time. I didn't have much time to get moving and get things by 7 o'clock because we were over in Alabama, and it took longer to get back than I thought. Let's see. Richard, Keith Fenner has a machine channel, and he's synced and has no issues from what I noticed. YouTube has just been a real thing the last 3 years. Okay, yeah, that's true too. And I'm not saying it was the issue, but it's a coincidence that everything started to go downhill about the same time that I did that sync. So the only other thing I could do is push instead of syncing the 2 channels together, I probably could have posted independently to Rumble, and then maybe that wouldn't have affected it. I don't know. Derek Pro says, just go out in the stewed and do burnouts in your street. 1 million hits. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. Richard, maybe this is the time of the year that people are on vacation. Well, you'd think that. But I can have trends. I actually have trends from what years? Over 12 years of videos that I've put on YouTube. Yeah. And this is the worst year. This is honestly the worst. Right now, in the past several months, this has been my worst year. Minus the beginning. When I started doing things, it took a couple years to develop a following. But, yeah, it has been pretty much my worst year over the last 10 years. And that's the truth. Dawn, broadcast hates dead air. Yes, I agree. Nobody wants dead air. So that's why I put music on, because I don't want to talk the whole time either. Sometimes it's just, I don't want to just ramble on. I want to have something that makes sense. Simone says, Barry, my new Hitbox welder arrived today. I was rather busy working on one of my motorcycles, so didn't get a chance to try it out. Okay. Well, good. Charles, very late. Hope everyone had a great Labor Day weekend. Like and subscribe. Yes, thank you, Charles. Yeah, I started at 7:30 tonight, so I'm the one that's late. Lost two night. Have to leave early. Okay. Well, glad you stopped in. Appreciate you. Derek says maybe do a video with you getting chased by your wife with a wooden spoon around the property, and fast forward with Benny Hill soundtrack. Can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that. David Sherrill, 97 degrees here in Missouri. Ooh, that's rough. That's rough. Terry Keithley says, "Hey Jerry, go Buckeyes." Okay. Nick, I don't know his situation, but I've been kicking around, taking the car back, and shooting the black myself. I know I could at least do that much. Fiberglass work is really what worried me. Well, maybe you could. Maybe you could. I don't know. Simone says I tried another platform, but it failed to deliver. Yeah, yeah. Rumble did me no good whatsoever. No good. Chris, near 80 degrees today. Supposed to hit near the 85 to 90 with the humidity the next couple of days. Yeah, I know that. Uh, Let me see what I was looking at the weather here in the Atlanta area. We're only gonna have a high of like 94 on Wednesday, and then it's just gonna be going down. 91, 90, 88, 89, 91, 85. So, yeah, the weather's changing, which is good. Uh, Jerry says, "Hey Terry, it was a lackluster win, but a win nonetheless. Go Bucks." Doyle, do you have a Facebook group where you can promote your videos? I'm a member of Fitzy's, and he does that to generate traffic. Yes, I have a Joe Daddy's Facebook page. Yep, I've had it for several years. I post quite a bit on there actually. Like all the pictures I do for the Mustang video, everything I do, it gets posted on Facebook. So if you're not already over there, go check it out. It's Joe Daddy's Garage, just like it is here. Um, Robert says maybe I need to test out Simone's new welder in October. Oh, that might be interesting. Make a good video. Richard says Twitch TV has no new viewer discovery, so they're even worse than YouTube. Oh, yeah, that doesn't sound very positive at all. Simone can't stop. Gone 1 a.m. Good night, everyone. Okay. Good night, Simone. Dave Tyson says 95, I guess 95 Minnesota. Is that what we're saying? I'm guessing. Rusty says, I would watch the Benny Hill version. Yeah. I'm sure. Simone said, hey to Robert. Okay. Rick says, sorry for showing up late. My frazzled brain thought it was Sunday because of the day off. Well, and I didn't post any lead in to have this going tonight. Normally I do it at 7, obviously, but we were late getting back from our time at the lake, and so 7:30. Because we always forget about the time change. We're not that far away from Alabama, and so that time change, it's an hour difference, but you tend to forget about it because it's so close. Dave Tyson says, yeah, last 4 days, 95 in Minnesota. That's hot. In Minnesota? Ooh, that is way too hot. Way. Oh, excuse me. Way too hot. Chris, can't wait to start my next project next year as winter is coming and gravel driveway carport and can be my ideal starting setup. Yeah, I'm sure. I was thinking about that autocross stuff, and I don't need another hobby. I did dirt track racing and I loved it. Riding along in these several vehicles, it was just a thrill to do that. Even as a passenger, but I wanted to drive so bad. I wanted to drive so bad. And probably had I gone earlier in the day, I could have driven my buddy's Mazda 3. The situation is, um, people have told my buddy, you can go faster. You can go faster. And I told him, I said, the problem is you own the car. And you have to drive it an hour and a half back to where you live. That's probably why you're not pushing it as hard as you could or should to try to win these events. Um, and I kind of would like to do it, and it would be I would feel bad if I pushed his car so hard that I broke it. You know, that would be ugly. But that I was telling him I think that's half the problem, or not half, but part of the problem is when you own the car and you have to take care of it, then you don't want to break it on when you're out there running around. So, yep. Hey, David and Cheryl sent me a picture. Sent it to my Facebook page. It's hard to transfer that over here, but looks like a Shelby convertible or a GT350. Yeah, nice looking car. Nice looking car. Yeah, David Cheryl, if you want to email that, I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can do this. I might be able to send it to myself. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll send it to where I'll get it. Yeah. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'll send it to myself, and then I'll get it up on here. Um, but man, it would be so much fun to build something and take it out and do the autocross stuff. Uh, Now the difficulty is, what's the best choice? Now I know that the Mazda threes, they were killing it. They were just killing it. The power to weight ratio. It's not always about having the most torque or the most horsepower or whatever. It's more about power to weight ratio and getting that power to the ground. So if you have 600 horsepower, it doesn't matter if you just spin the wheels. It doesn't help. If you have 300 horsepower and you have great traction, that's plenty. So there's a trade-off in the power to weight ratio setup. So David and Cheryl sent me this picture. That's a sharp-looking car right there. Even with the hubcaps. I'm assuming that those look like hubcaps to me. I'm assuming those are hubcaps. I would rather see that with different wheels, but that's a nice-looking car for sure. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Let's go up here. Nick says to Chris, get you some tarps and a torpedo heater. Get her going. Yeah. Robert figures it's going to be 92 in Syracuse when I'm trying to go somewhere cooler for a day. Dave Tyson says not too many studs out there. Talking about Studebakers. That is true. There's probably a reason for that, but that is true. Dawn says she'll be taking Betsy out for a test drive this week. Awesome. I know you've been putting the interior in it and all that stuff. That's fantastic. Chris says negative 25 to 30. Yeah, I'll just snow blow the driveway and plan on hoarding parts. Okay. Charles says Slither wants to autocross. That would be fun. That would definitely be fun. Hopefully you can do that. Nick says, I'll let you drive my bucket of bolts in an autocross event. When it's done, you ain't breaking it unless you hit a crowd, a la typical Mustang moment. Might take you up on that, Nick. I really might. There's so much fun in doing that. Terry, I cannot believe the difference between the 1998 Snap-on and the Arc Captain. Okay, so you had a Snap-on and you got the Arc Captain welder. So I'm not sure what you've welded with that yet, but if you're like me, you really are having fun with that Arc Captain. I have not taken the, I have not played with the TIG function yet. I have not. But the regular MIG function with the synchronous welding, man, I love it. It's a really good welder. So I'm glad you're enjoying it, Terry. Richard says I was involved in a late model dirt track thing there in Alabama, Georgia area. Been to Talladega, Green Valley, Rome, Georgia, Speedway, etc. Did you ever race at Six Flags or Seven Flags? Did you ever race at Seven Flags? Because I raced at Seven Flags and I raced at Lanier one time. I did a streetcar race at Lanier, but I used to race at Seven Flags over in Douglasville. That track is gone because they wanted to put up houses. There's another track south of us. I have not gone to that track. It's in Sonoya, Georgia, and it's a fast little dirt track, but I really don't want to go there because I'll get itchy, and I don't want to get itchy, so I don't even like to go. Next is I've had to work in negative 25 to 30. Come on, man, live a little. Yeah. Dawn, more horsepower makes it faster on the straight. Loose weight makes it faster everywhere. Loose or lose? I guess lose weight. Because loose weight is scary. Got stuff flying around inside the car. You don't want that. Robert got another ton of AC going in the shop. Have to get the shop organized and figure out where to start on a Mustang again. I forgot where I was on it. Oh, I think you were, you had it upside down. Yeah, you had it upside down. You were doing some epoxy or something. Richard, never been to Seven Flags. Yeah, Seven Flags was in Douglasville, Georgia. It was a dirt track. It's probably a small 3/8 oval. It was fun. It was fun. And like I said, until somebody tried to kill me on the track, then it wasn't so much fun anymore. Jerry says, just get a little bit itchy. No one will know. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the autocross stuff, what I like about that, again, is you're going against the clock. I mean, you're racing other people, but it's one at a time. So you're not out there bumping into somebody else. You can still break your equipment, obviously. But man, that'd be the way to go. I haven't checked into to know. Like Atlanta Motor Speedway is literally 15 to 20 minutes away from me, and they used to do stuff there, but I don't know if they do any kind of autocross anymore. I don't know. Robert says, been to Six Flags, and those old-timey cars are all over the place, and you can't pass because they are all on the same track on the ground. Yes. Yeah. And even then, I don't trust everybody on them. Rick says Robert's going to build the body cart so he can roll it around. There you go. So Rick Gain knows where you were at, Robert. You were going to build a body cart. Nick says he's got to go. See you. Okay. Glad you're here, Nick. Michael, once you get that bug, it's hard to get rid of it. I know that bug. New England Dragway was super stock. Still have the car. Yeah, I mean, my stock car was a '65 Chevelle, and it was a nice stock car. I mean, it was well built. I probably have the my little model. I actually had somebody paint me up there it is. I had a guy paint me up a copy of my '65 Chevelle. So that was the paint scheme on it. he didn't put stock car type wheels on it, not like I had, but it's kind of cool. Of course, it would have had a Nerf bar in the front of it, but that was my Chevelle stock car. It was a lot of fun. It really, really was. Until, like I said, somebody tried to kill me, and then it just wasn't fun anymore. So I had somebody on my Facebook page. I think it's Wayne. I can't remember his last name. It looks like he does stuff with like Hot Wheels, and I'm trying to find maybe somebody else to do some Hot Wheel customization for me if they're interested. Richard, ever go to Waycross? I have not. I have not. I mean, I think I don't know where Waycross is, but I've heard of it. About all I can say. Let's see. Robert, autocross would be okay for me. I shouldn't do competitive racing because I get mean because I want to be at the front. Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's not. Yeah. Oh, believe me. I don't know many people that are as competitive as I am. Seriously. Um, and that makes it difficult. Now, of course, after we've had um, the ride around in the car, and I filmed, some of it, so I'm going to put a video out. Um, I think, here were some of my thoughts. Like I'd already considered that I'm probably going to sell the Jade Mustang. And then I have the Blue Mustang, which is the Acapulco Blue factory car. Um, and I had thought about building it like an autocross car. I really had. That was already in my mind. And I thought about that a little bit more this weekend. And we have the red Mustang, the Dave Mustang, as we called it, Red Dave. And that car has potential to do that same thing, but without fixing it up. Like, I wouldn't want to do all the paint and body work and make that make it a super clean, super nice car. But I could definitely make it look like a rusty, crusty Mustang with an autocross suspension underneath and have some fun with it. So my mind is kind of juggling that right now. It really is. So if Robert's still interested in getting the Red Dave car, he needs to figure that out before I do something else with it. Rick, me and a buddy did a lot of autocrossing back in the 80s. We had a Chevette and did really well until the SCCA reclassed the car. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, this event that I went to, I think it's called Grip Autocross. It's kind of a run what you brung thing. Like your car does not have to be street legal. It has to have good tires on it. It has to can't have any leaks. I think you have to have a helmet. Maybe about it. Maybe about it. So, ideally, you need something like the Mazda Miata is a fantastic package, but like an Ariel Atom, ooh, that car would clean up. That would clean up. Dawn, I'd like to autocross Betsy. It would be fun. Richard, it is way across the state. There is a Waycross, Georgia, by the way. I know that much. There is a Waycross. Michael, 68 Chevelle, big block car. Okay. I'm not sure what that's in relation to. Oh, wait. Oh, drag car. Okay. Yeah. 68 Chevelle. Yeah. Nice car. Marshall, howdy folks. Just did my first autocross and it was fun. Saw SCCA's doing something weekend of December 16th at AMS. I'm trying to figure out how to sign up for Beginner Day on Saturday. If I guess it's if I can. Well, Marshall, September 16th. Okay. So I'm assuming that's a weekend. Let me look at my calendar. Um, September 16th is a Saturday. Okay. Marshall, let me know if you're going to get down there. Let me know. I would like to come down there and watch. I did not know that they were doing that at AMS. I honestly, I want to take my little Honda Fit and just blast it around the track and see what it does. I think it would be a lot of fun. That car turns on a dime. It's not super fast, but it's not heavy. You know, it has good brakes, and I really thought about doing that. But Marshall, let me know if you're planning on coming down, because you're literally in my backyard at that point. Doyle, do you use a to-do list on any of the projects? I have a mental list that I keep. That's about it. I don't have anything written down other than stuff like measurements and different things like that for the projects. But I don't have a hard format of what I need to do or what has to be done. I don't know. I've just always kept a running kind of set of, I don't know, numbers and thoughts going with every project, but I don't have anything written down. And Doyle, I'm glad you're here. If I didn't already give you a bell, you know, I did that the giveaway with the mini saw on my other channel, and I think you responded. I'm pretty sure you were one of the responders. The second person has not contacted me as of yet. As of yet. So I think, let me go back and look at my I did 3 different drawings, and yep, you're probably going to be the winner. You're probably going to be the winner because the previous winner, John Cottier, I had posted that he was a winner, and prior to that, it was Gwen Walls, and neither one of them responded. And I know you'll respond. I know that much. So I have not seen any emails from a John Cottier. Let me just search one more time just in case. Nope. Nope. I don't see. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I actually might have him on here. Okay, hold on a second. I don't know. Well, we'll just tentatively say that he has not responded because he hasn't. I have an old email from him from back in 2020. I do have an old email. Um, so I may just have to pull the trigger on that and let you know, Doyle, that you're the next one up if I don't get a response. So just to let you know. Cameron, I guess Bass. Man, I am having that same front bumper issue you had on the 67 on my 67 Mustang. Frustration to the max. So you're talking about the front bumper being out of the not shaped right. So I know I gave a demonstration as to how I fixed it. I don't know if that helps you or not, but yeah, they don't fit quite right. I'm glad you're here. Sorry, Cameron, if I didn't give you a bell. Charles says leather suspension is geared towards handling, as is the rear too, along with the wider tires. It should be very fun. I would assume it would be. Definitely. Definitely. Richard, people used to ask me where is the best place to travel for relaxation. I would say LA, Lower Alabama. Nothing going on there to interrupt a relaxing day, but occasional tornadoes. That's accurate. Richard, yes, there is definitely a Waycross. That is just a joke in the area. Okay. Rick, if you're thinking about building something, get a rule book and check it out so you can build it to a class. That is a good point. That is a good point. Dawn's Manufactory. I keep the sequence in my head because Barry said it scored. Sequence is always scored, Dawn. You are correct. And Cameron says yes. So, okay, talking about the bumper, I guess. Marshall, I'll let you know if I'm going and try to email you any info I find. I'm sure your fit would spank my car. Electric power steering should be in my future. Okay. Yeah, let me know. Rick says, for the giveaway, can you do it during a live stream and require that the winners be present during the stream? Are you able to pick a random person from those viewing a stream? I am not. There's not that I know of that I can pick somebody from the stream. I don't know how I could pull that off because the way the function that I use, the program that I use, it has to see comments on the actual video, not like comments during the stream. So it would be hard to do that. I don't know how I could. I really don't know how I could pull that off because it would be so hard to keep track of every single person. Like if trying to assign them a number or something like that, it would be very difficult to do that. I mean, I get where you're coming from. I don't have an easy answer for it. And I try to tell people to hit the bell notification so they know when I post something that it comes up and they can see it. And I guess some people just they want to respond because it's fun for them to respond, but they don't pay attention later. And unfortunately, somebody lost out. 2 people lost out on that whole welding deal on the welder, but it went to somebody who's going to use it. So I'm glad they got there. But yeah, it's hard to get. It's hard to come up with a way to do it on the live stream. At least with what I have available to me. So Doyle says I'm winding down on my metalwork on the 69 Cutlass, left lower cowl behind fender, and left core support from battery acid. Yeah, well that's good that you're getting there. That's good. It's always nice to get closer to the finish line. Richard, there are mods or plugins, but they're for SLOBS, etc., not YouTube itself. All right, I have no idea what you just said. I have no idea. But not YouTube itself. Okay. Yeah, I have a program. It's YouTube Random Comment Picker. That's all I know. And it's unfortunate that there's no easy way to, do it. I've done it with a video before, but even that didn't seem to matter. I've posted it. I've put their names on there. I've gone back on the YouTube accounts. I've posted to theirs. I guess the only real way that I could do it, and this is where I don't want to put people in a situation to where they're going to get unsolicited emails, stuff like that. So if I told people, post your email and you're entered in the contest, well, that's just bad. That's just bad. Because I've had people contact me later that they were getting messages just from their comment, not even their email. They were getting messages saying, you won, send us, your contact information. And it wasn't me sending that. It was somebody else trying to get their information. So it's just really hard to come up with an easy way to do it. I don't know how other people do it. David Sherrill, the mini chainsaw would be great for my wrist. Okay. Robert, OBS software is above Barry's pay grade. Yes, it definitely, I don't even know what that means. David Sherrill, with your promo code, it is a real good deal for the saw. Yeah, and the company contacted me. They were 70% off. They changed it, now it's 30%. Same code, but 30% off. They did drop it down. So, Dave Tyson says, yes, ID. I don't know. Don't know what that means. Abdullah says code U0100. I don't know what that code is. No idea. Probably have to Google that one. I don't have an answer for you on that one. Sorry. But glad you're here. Checking in. So, yeah, I'll have to check into that autocross event at AMS. It is, I mean, if they're racing like on a Sunday, we can hear the cars from our yard. Can't hear them in the house, but we can hear them from the yard. So, yeah, that's pretty close to where we're at. But yeah, I would love to see your car at least, and maybe watch you do some racing. That would be fun. Now, as we were saying before, with the Mach 1 project, we're going to be working on getting the other side on the car, fixing up the B-pillar, doing the test fit of all the upper structure, the header panels, the roof panel, and then work towards getting the frame rails in place. Part of the other thing I need to address is, well, there's several things, obviously, but part of that is going to be getting the frame connectors in place, welded in, solid. So I have to figure that out, do some testing of that. I have considered how I wanted to approach that, because on one hand, I could lift this body off of the jig and get under it, but partly I don't want to do that. I don't want to get it off the jig yet. So I may end up crawling underneath it and test fitting the frame connectors. One idea I had, which I probably won't do either, is to lift everything together. The trailer, the body, just lift the whole jig off the floor. But because of the dimensions, like the axle is so far back on the trailer that I couldn't get the arm where I need it in order to lift it, because I've got so much of an extension out here that it would make it too nose heavy. So I'm not going to mess with it. I'll probably just crawl underneath, do some test fitting, clamping, get it ready to weld and weld it up in there. Michael says U code should be a communications code. Abdullah says, what does a U code mean? DTC stands for lost communication with ECM, PCM. A is triggered once there's a loss of communication between your PCM and a particular module. Oh, that's not a good sign. Jerry says, you don't want to get jiggy with it. I understand. Yeah. Richard says, U codes are network codes. So, yeah, that's way out of my realm. However, I'm not sure what's in this box. Let me open up this box real quick. This is something that I had another company contact me about doing a video, and they sent me. I don't know if this is the product they wanted to send me. And I've been interested in doing a video along these lines because as we're talking about these trouble codes, yeah, I think this is it. Yep. They said they were sending it to me. And so I had have Roger living next door, so he helps out when we're off somewhere. They have sent me this professional diagnostic setup. RT Diag Pro, professional diagnostic within reach. So this company, I don't know much about them, but Top Don is what they promote here. Top Don. I will be doing a video on this, And this thing is pretty cool, at least from what I've seen in the reviews and all that sort of thing. You know what? It's got a piece of security tape on it. Let me open that quick. I just want to look at it while we're discussing this phase of what's going on. Of course, like I said, I'll be doing the a video on this setup. Let's see how I open this. Because everything I've had as far as scan tools is generic stuff, right? Oh, it's got another piece of tape on it. They want to make sure I'm not just going to accidentally open this. But I've had, kind of like stuff you buy from AutoZone or Advance, the little scan tools. And I've wanted something that was a lot more serious, and this is a lot more serious. So, just have a quick look, because I'll do a full unboxing and all that stuff. Wow. All right, so we've got a whole bunch of instruction stuff. Look at this. Fancy schmancy. It's got a little kickstand in the back there. This is a nice case and everything. It's got a bunch of connectors, which I don't know anything about these connectors yet because I haven't had time to hook them up or look at them. It's got a charger. It's got your data cable hookup. Man, this is it's even got a European plug-in adapter. So, yeah, I'll be playing with this very soon and doing a review on this thing. But since we brought it up, I'm pretty excited about it, to be honest. I know that unit right there is probably, I think on Amazon, I want to say it's like $400. So we'll see what happens. Colin, oh man, I'm late. Glad I joined. What's up, everybody? We started late, but glad you're here, Colin. And I think you signed up. Did you sign up as a patron, by the way? I think I got a notification that a Colin signed up for Patreon. I'm pretty sure that's probably you, and if so, thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. Michael, howdy from Flaherty, Kentucky. Howdy, Michael. Glad you're here. Abdullah says, my G-Scan Zenith Z5. Okay. Richard, I never used a Topdon, but I heard that for cheap scanners, they work okay. I'm used to Snap-ons and Napa's OTCs. Okay. Well, it's got to be better than the little generic. I have this little, I don't even know what it is. Actron type of thing. I think I have two of them. I have an Actron and I have an older version. I don't even know what it is. But it gets the job done. But, it doesn't let you really test anything. This one apparently will let you do actual testing and function of components and things. So I'm looking forward to trying it out. Hopefully it works, and hopefully it helps me find and solve some problems that I have had for a while now. Robert, that's nicer than my $10 Bluetooth scan tool, which I used today on the neighbor's truck to track down a coolant temp spiking constantly. Okay. Abdullah threw a thumbs up at me. Thank you, Abdullah. Richard says, I don't mean cheap as a do nothing, bad wording, meant cost. Yes. Yes, and we all know how that works. We understand that. Good tools have a high price, and better tools or decent tools may have a lower price. But you never know; they could be out of the same warehouse down the road. But I get what you're saying, and you know, I had this company Topped On. Somebody offered me one of these before, and it just didn't happen. And then this company come along and said, "Hey, we want to blah blah blah." I said, "Let me see it." Okay, send it. So I have that to do a video on, and I still have the video to do on the pliers, the plier kit, hose clamp pliers. So that's going to be. I'll have to make at least one of them this week, and then the Topped On will probably be next week by the feel of it. So, it's been great, and I'm getting to the point where I'm tired. I'm getting tired. I know I started late, and I do appreciate everybody being here. Weekend was fun, but even having a weekend off wears you out. It makes you tired. We all know that. So I have to get recover from that. Rick Stevenson, Topped On scanner is a great scanner. It allows bi-directional control. There you go. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Rick. Sorry. And Dawn says, I too use a ELM 327 Bluetooth. Okay. And Michael says, you can use it on your Tahoe for the crank sensor. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And I have another issue with the Franken truck. It's been eating at me for quite some time, and maybe this will help me resolve that issue and finally figure out what's wrong with it. I sure hope so. If so, I'll be very, very happy, because that's been a problem for ever since I built it. Really, it's had an electrical problem, and I hate electrical problems. Just put it that way. So, but yeah, that'll be it for tonight. I do plan to be back next week. It'll be what, the 11th? September? No. Yeah. Yeah, September 11th. We all know what that means. But I'll be back for that, and hopefully I get this, like I said, the work started on the other side. I will get started, get the other side put together on the Mach 1 project, and it'll be part 17 will be coming out very soon or by this weekend. So that'll be it for tonight. Thanks for being here, and until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.